Пане Олександре Гон, можете, будь ласка, тест зробити? Ми хочемо англійською ще раз, будь ласка, можете кілька слів сказати?
Алло, алло. Чи мене чути?
Так, вас чути. Дякую. Пане Олександре Гон, будь ласка, можете кілька слів сказати? Хочемо ще раз тест зробити. А ви щойно говорили на англійському каналі, пане Олександре? Будь ласка, на англійському каналі.
English channel, sound checking, economic resilience activity, Mariupol Declaration of Solidarity, taking into account the devastating
Доброго дня, шановний пане міський голово, шановна пані президент.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, dear cities, mayor of the city of Dansk, the representatives of the international organizations, dear city mayor of Skhedovsk. Glory to Ukraine, ladies and gentlemen. Today, every Ukrainian city, every Ukrainian community is Mariupol. Everyone feels the pain that we carry in our hearts, in the hearts of every Ukrainian citizen, of every man and woman who were born and used to live in Mariupol. This is our duty today, to take every possible step to make sure that Mariupol is reborn in a new beauty with a new force. I personally know a lot of Mariupol dwellers, people who are residing here in Lviv. It's a great honor for me to have them here. For me personally, they are all are new dwellers and citizens of Lviv. That's the way I call them. I remember when Oksana from Mariupol came to Lviv and she opened a small shop and began to sell flowers. She took care of her life. All over this time, she has been waiting for husband. He went to war, he was captured, but she has made it to the day when they saw each other, embraced each other, and she was crying. There are numerous examples of this. People of Mariupol are very strong people. They know what to do and how to do. They are represented today by the head of the city council of Mariupol, people who are thinking not only about today, but they're thinking about the future, because our victory will be secured when A, we have liberated every single meter of our land, and B, when we have rebuilt our communities. Rebuilding is a complex thing. It takes talent, work, and international assistance. That's why we have opened the door wide to make sure that this work is not only continuing. We want to secure this work to be successful because we have seen a very strong team. Now that I have met you personally, I reiterate this point. The point that a lot of Ukrainian communities should take on board your experience. I remember when my dear colleague, he was not then a city mayor, but I saw the dramatic changes in the peaceful life. Now what I am seeing on the photos, on the pictures, on the video footage, it rips my heart apart, but we should be strong. We should, through gritted teeth, do what we have to do. Once again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for you to understand, this hall is the hall of the Mariupol City Council. Am I right in stating that? Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to give the floor, and I am honored to do so, to Alexander Dulkevich, who is the president, the city mayor of the city of Gdansk. Welcome, ma'am.
Dzień dobry. Dzień dobry.
Звук треба включити.
Can you hear me?
Окей.
Can you hear me?
Я вас чую, але я не чую пані президент.
I'm afraid I can't hear the city mayor.
Мікрофон треба, щоб пані президент включила.
Madam President, would you switch on your microphone, please?
Хай говорить польською, всі зрозуміють.
You can speak Polish, everyone understands.
Słyszycie czy nie? Can you hear me?
Вас чуємо, пані президент ні.
We can hear the interpreter, we can't hear the
No dobra.
city mayor.
Окей.
Wy mnie słyszycie? Andrzeju, słyszycie mnie? Okay, okay. I was told that it will be easier to speak in English, so thank you very much for invitation. And it is really great to see you together, dear Vadim, dear Andrzej. I'm really, really happy to see you. You are both more than welcome to visit Gdansk, and I do hope that Vadim visit will one day come true. Andrzej is more often here, but you are always more than welcome. Thank you very much for this initiative, because this is extremely important to build joint forces and coalition now, and not let the world to forget about Mariupol. That Mariupol is Ukrainian city, vital city, which was, and I deeply believe can be an example not only for Ukrainian cities, but also for European cities. Last Friday, we had here in Gdansk meeting of working group of the European Committee of the Regions. We're also a representative of Mariupol, member of the city council was present. Thank you very much for this cooperation. We already signed the agreement together with Warsaw and Brema, and of course Gdansk, Mariupol, Phoenix City. So we are deeply convinced that everything will go into good direction, and Mariupol will come to a lively city as it used to be before this horrible aggression 1 year ago. So we would really like to be a part of your cooperation, part of your coalition, and this sort of triangle proposed also by Mayor Andrzej Sadowy is also a good option for us to put us together, Mariupol, Lwów, and Gdańsk. We are also continuing working with ALDA, Association of Local Democracy. The office, the center from Mariupol is now working in Kiev, but I know that this center also supports Mariupol and citizens and non-governmental organizations from Mariupol. So thank you very much for this possibility of being with you together. I do hope that with your power and hopefully strong support from not only Polish cities, but also European cities and worldwide community, you will win the war. Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава. Це символічний союз.
Glory to Ukraine and glory to heroes. This is a symbolic union from the sea to the sea, with the city of Lviv in the middle. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give the floor to the city mayor of Mariupol, Mr. Vadim Boychenko. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Dear Madam President, Mr. Sadovy, thank you for this opportunity to be here and now. Why is it that we are gathering here? Mr. Sadovy mentioned that Mariupol used to be a city that has been reborn. Where did we get such an expertise? We learned this from the city of Lviv, because the city of Lviv as the city of Gdansk are twin cities. As it was before, so it is now. We are standing together. Why is it that today, on the 28th of February, it was a year ago that the city was beleaguered and capturing hostages 500,000 of people? We saw the true face of Russia. They claimed that they were there to liberate us. We saw the rage of this invasion. This is a Russian-speaking country. Did it stop the aggressor? No. What did they do? They begin to kill our people, to ruin our lives. What do we have at the end of the day from the enemy? We have had a city destroyed in half. There is not a single building that has not been damaged. In the city of Mariupol, we saw the result of this rage, the rage that the city didn't see during the fascist occupation in the Second World War. And the numbers of the people dead, we don't know exactly what those numbers are. Let us imagine for a second that Russia has accepted that 934 high rises will be there no more. They're now clearing those spaces. They are hiding their atrocities. If we calculate that we have every building has 2 to 5 entrances, we will see the horrific numbers. So many people dead. This is a frightening figure, but Mariupol is not only remembered because of that. We are remembered because of the heroism of our people, people who under the occupation lived, survived, and were trying to get out of the city. It was on the 13th of March when Putin gave an order and the city was open. People were leaving the city because they didn't have any information what Ukraine is like, whether Zaporizhia is still in the Ukrainian territory, whether Kyiv is under the Ukrainian control or not. People were devastated. People were tired and they were moving towards Ukraine. This is a statement of the Ukrainian nationhood. People from Mariupol, the Ukrainians from Mariupol, go to other city and they are setting up centers called I Am Mariupol. We have set up a team. Today's declaration stresses the point what Ukraine is. What is Ukraine? Ukraine today is unity. Today, Ukraine expresses solidarity in terms of the rebuilding of the Ukrainian cities. Ukraine is invincibility. Our boys were defending the city for 86 days with the Ukrainian flag over the city. As the result, we have saved the time for other cities to get prepared. The armed forces of Ukraine were ready to defy. We are ready to destroy this hordes of occupiers. We were having only 10 tanks available, but the invasion was going into the city wave by wave, leaving more than 10,000 dead Russian occupiers. We saved time, we saved opportunities, we were more strengthened in our hope that we will prevail. Today, Ukraine is united from sea to sea. We are showing the way that Mariupol has covered. This is the way to develop. This is the way to Europe. It is today that we are signing an open declaration of solidarity. It's an open book. Every city is invited. Today we have 3 cities on board. There are other cities ready to accede, including Paris, Bremen, and Warsaw, and Wrocław, and Vilnius, Utrecht, Rotterdam, etc. We want to get united for the sake of the development of the Ukrainian city of Mariupol. We have to gain the expertise that is unique in Ukraine. After we have gained this expertise, we will take on board other Ukrainian cities. We are ready to share our experiences, to show them the work we have done and are doing so far. I believe in the words uttered by the Ukrainian president, Mr. Zelensky. He said, Mariupol is the heart of Ukraine. Once we have rebuilt a Ukrainian Mariupol, we will rebuild our country. Thank you. the Mariupol Declaration of Solidarity, taking into account the devastating consequences of the Russian invasion, the actual destruction of Mariupol and a number of other Ukrainian cities, aware of the urgent challenges regarding the restoration of the destroyed infrastructure, the Mariupol City Council, together with the Lviv City Council, in a common desire for the peaceful development of Ukrainian cities and this state of Ukraine after the victory, agree on the creation of an open forum to cooperate and joint cooperation of efforts in promotion of the fastest and fast-track revival of the Ukrainian Mariupol and the assistance to other destroyed cities of Ukraine. We invite to support this declaration all cities of Ukraine and the world, as well as international organizations and institutions that strive for peaceful partnership and development, are ready to join the comprehensive possible assistance in the restoration of the Ukrainian Mariupol and other cities affected by the Russian aggression. We call on our friends and partners to join in the Mariupol Reborn city revival plan in any possible format through expert, scientific consulting, humanitarian material, financial, or other kinds of support. We welcome any meaningful initiatives aimed at political, diplomatic, or information support of Ukraine for victory. After all, the end of the suffering of the Ukrainian people, the restoration of our cities, and the further development of the economy and infrastructure is only possible with the complete deoccupation of Ukrainian territory and a complete victory over the occupying forces. We are speaking in support of coordination, the efforts of partners to accumulate the and use world-leading urban planning expertise in Mariupol, and we will transfer this expertise to other Ukrainian cities affected by the Russian aggression, excuse me. The declaration is an expression of the desire of Mariupol and Lviv for the solidarity of cities through the development of a broad dialogue between the municipalities, Ukraine, EU countries, the USA, Japan, and the whole world for mutual assistance. This partnership is open for new members to accede.
Один. Я попрошу презентацію. Також треба
I
підготуватися.
would like you to see the presentation that we have prepared.
Трошечки ще й дамо емоції. Перепрошую, щоб ми
We will
почули,
add up some emotions
звучав Маріуполь до початку війни.
so that you hear the way the Mariupol sounded before the war and the sounds of the city during the war.
Маріуполь.
Mariupol, modern European city at the Azov Sea coast, multicultural, unique, free Ukrainian, the city of the development, the city of future. People used to love here, were happy, were dreaming, were inspired. They wandered, enjoying the peaceful life. This was the city before the Russian invasion. 2 months of blockade turned the city into the ghost city with tens of thousands of casualties, ruins, tragedy. the human pain. However, the heart and the soul of Mariupol lives in our people's hearts. Mariupol dwellers around the world are waiting for the time when they return to Ukrainian Mariupol. The rebuilding and renewal of the city is the dream of the hundreds of thousands of people join in the Mariupol Reborn. We will regain Mariupol and we will return Mariupol to life.
Шановні пані та панове,
Ladies and gentlemen,
коли ми
once we get down to planning
і повернення, і відродження,
our return and our revival, we ask the dwellers of the city,
наших партнерів, які дали цю змогу, це
with the help of our partners, including the governments of Germany and the United States,
соціологічні дослідження.
they helped us to have the opinion polls for us to be able to talk to our people. There are two principally important things. We can rebuild the city that is in our hearts, the city that has been destroyed by the Russian occupiers. When we remember the city that we were building for 7 years before the war, our vision was to show what Ukraine was, to show that Ukraine is the future, Russia is the past, the path that drags us back to the Soviet Union. We built modern roads, we built public transportation, up-to-date kindergartens and hospitals. It was all there, but now we should understand the reason for us to come back. We are aware today of the fact that it will be very difficult to come back because we will be tortured by the remembrances that we have seen on the screen. This will be ripping our hearts apart. This is why the best architects, when we talk about the first block here, are building our vision, the reason for us to come back to the Ukrainian Mariupol. What will be like? This will be the future and place for our yet unborn children. The world community today is searching for the answer. They're searching for the answer in the places where this work has been planned. The United States, the city of Rotterdam, and other European cities helping us and joining us, including such an important player as the Gensler company. They're here with us today. They want to unite all these efforts into a unified vision and concept of the future of Mariupol. This is very important. This is the reason for us to come back to. We'll be providing best education, best health services, best jobs. This is what it will be like. We have started this work today. We are joining our efforts and forces. We look into the proposals, into the plans, into the visions around the world. We are uniting them in the first block that we see on the screen, USAID. People who are with us today too give us an opportunity to dream, to visualize what the plan of the rebirth of Mariupol will be. This will be a future master plan, then a general layout of the urban design of the city. The second block is something which is indispensable. It gives us the assurance. This is the immediate action plan that we have been commissioned to do by Mr. Pavlo Kirilenko, the head of the regional military administration. This is the home task, and we got down to it back in September. Today we have a report, a unified one. This is called Fast Recovery Plan. an immediate response plan. Once we go back to the city tomorrow, what is it that we'll be doing with the electricity supply, water supplies, heat supplies, with the help of the experts? And we are appreciative of their efforts. We are planning our plan, our future, the restoration of critical important infrastructure that was destroyed by the Russian aggression. They came in and it took them a week to destroy what used to be a critically infrastructure facilities, including water supply, heat supply, and they also destroyed the communication lines. On the 3rd of March, the city went silent. People didn't understand what the situation was. This is the way to provide answers to what to do and how to do, and the price of it. The price tag is 14 billion hryvnias. The state also participates. The state understands that Mariupol should be given an opportunity to come back better. Now, how much time will it take us? 18 months. This is a very fast-track way to rebuild our city. What will follow? How are we planning? What will be rebuilt in the first place, and how much money should go into it? We appreciate the efforts of the European Bank of Reconstruction and Development and the World Bank. These two institutions have come together. One of them has money, the other has expertise. Mr. Boychenko talked to them back in 2019. He received money for the development of the city in the form of 4 million euros. And they suggested that we should use this money to do some important things. One, we will calculate the damages that we have suffered. Why do we have to do this? We should be aware of the amount of money that will go into the rebuilt Mariupol. We also have to calculate all the money that Russia will pay for the restoration of the Ukrainian Mariupol. Now the leading institutions are working on this, including World Bank. World Bank knows how to rebuild the ruined cities. Their experts are working on this. At the end of the day, we will receive a financial and economic plan. We will turn to the European Court of Justice for the compensations. We think that Mariupol might become a pilot project for the court in The Hague, so that we shall clearly identify the amount of damages, and the perpetrators of the atrocities find themselves in the Hague Tribunal deck. This is the ground for us to form and shape a clear-cut rebuilding plan, the so-called Marshall Plan, and we are assured that we will succeed. We will also set up a special account for the financial mechanisms that will see the revenues from the Russian occupier, including the city of Mariupol, for the city to be revived and rebuilt. These institutions have begun to work. In this hall, very soon, we will be discussing the fast recovery plan, and the Lviv city mayor is looking through it. That is to say, we want and we are open for the communities to share with us, as well as we will share the expertise that we have regained since the month of September. At the end of March, we will report back to you, to the Ukrainian community, to other Ukrainian cities, to share what we have understood. In the same way, in March or early April, it will be here that, together with our international partners, European Bank of Reconstruction and Development, World Bank, we will report on our activities and the amount of damages defined and calculated by the international institutions.
Це ми бачимо календар, де ми зараз знаходимося. На цьому
Та-
не буду зупинятися. Ми бачимо ту платформу, яку ми побудували. Платформа складає 3 міста.
It includes 3 cities.
Наш партнер, як наш
With our partner,
досвід.
including our experience, we would like to set up a platform
Тут ми будемо
of Mariupol Reborn here in Lviv.
відродження Маріуполя.
This is where the future platform will be developed. We would like to think into the different hypotheses that will be tested and developed,
Тобто ми будемо питати,
taking on board the European expertise. We will be talking to our people in the city of Dnipro in terms of how can we build this way or that way the system of water supply. The head of the Dnipro program will look into what they have to offer. We will go to the city of Warsaw, people who are well versed in what should be done. This will come back to Lviv, a city where we will be developing step by step something like Marshall Plan for the city of Mariupol. That is to say, we have 3 platforms working together. In the city of Lviv, the local office will be set up in March. Then we will sign the declarations of cooperation with other European cities, cities ready to share their experience with us, including the Ukrainian cities who would like to join and also learn from our experience, for us to build together, for us to put it together, and for us to together develop the future of Ukraine. Why do we say that this is important? It should be done now. It is a time-consuming work, as Mr. Sadovy.
Якщо ми зараз це не будемо робити, то ми втрачаємо час. Ми втрачаємо той час, якого у нас немає. І коли це
Our
буде
time will be wasted. So
і кордони, і звільниться місто
very
Ми будемо
in the near future, the cities will be liberated. Mariupol will be liberated. We'll be coming back, but we'll be coming back with clear-cut plans of what to do, when to do, how much money it'll take, who will provide money, who will be the ones that will be sharing their experiences and helping us. This is an important thing to say that we are beginning right now. In July, as we believe in the words of the Ukrainian military, in the words of the commander of the armed forces and the president, will be liberated very soon. Today, it's not a matter only to talk to the head of the city council. I would like you to meet our team, our experts responsible for different aspects. Mr. Orlov, who will brief you on what is called City of Lviv Reborn. This will be presented at the end of March. And the floor is yours, sir.
Шановні колеги, доброго дня.
Dear colleagues, welcome. It is for me great honor and responsibility to talk to you today, to communicate to you, with you today. As Vadim Boychenko has mentioned, today we can hardly imagine the volume and scope of work that we'll be dealing with. But one thing we know for sure, and that is it's not about and not only about infrastructure. The city was developing, the city was there, but the opportunities that it was likely to provide for the citizens is not there. We don't have roads, we don't have supplies, we don't have running water, nothing. There is no life. So what we are saying here is that We should see the rebirth of life, of smiles, of children going to school, to revitalize all the services that were there available to the city dwellers. We understand that we have never had a chance to do something from scratch. And now this is a major challenge, building the city from scratch, from square one. This is the
міста Лева, відчуваємо від європейських міст.
city of Lviv, so much of support from the European cities. We have recently visited such like presentations as Rebuilding Ukraine. We went to these different cities like cities in the Netherlands, and we have seen firsthand that we were facing a lot of challenges. There is a lot of work to be learned, a lot of lessons to take on board, to gain such expertise and experience, and to enrich those things as well. As this platform, our vision is to set up a design office where we are having an opportunity to communicate and be in dialogue in terms of the urban vision of this city, what it should look like in 2024, in 2030, or 2030, or 2040, who will be the people that we are working for, and to make sure that we commit as little mistakes, as few mistakes as we can. What we have learned from our experience of visiting European cities is that, yes, there were mistakes made. So I appreciate our cooperation. I appreciate the help of our European friends. We would like to take on board your experience that we will take as a lesson for the future of the city. This is the way the Lviv platform will look like, and I appreciate the work of the Lviv city mayor and his help in setting up this point. This is where we'll be signing the declarations of cooperations with the European cities. In the city of Dnipro, the fast recovery plan, the first deputy of the city mayor, now the floor is yours. Welcome. I greatly appreciate this opportunity to talk to you in the city hall. Perhaps I feel more especially gracious here because I was born in Mariupol and they were born in the Lviv region. Now, of course, it would be great if we could come here after the victory is secured. You mentioned the share of the World Bank. We began to work on the sewage system in the city and water supply systems, and we were proud of the fact that 16 million euros that we received from European Bank of Reconstruction and Development, we used that money to work on the city lightings and a lot of projects that we are proud to begin. But the aggression that began a year ago threw us back many years back. But we are coming out stronger. That's why our Dnieper platform, I think by the time we get together there will be a counteroffensive by the Ukrainian armed forces. But we are thinking about 12 areas of action. The most complicated one is people who are staying there. Thank God there is a team that we've been working together during the first convocation of the city council. This is something new that perhaps we didn't pay enough attention to the unpredicted circumstances, but we have developed a clear-cut plan. The contingencies may differ, The situations may differ, but we want to foresee every single scenario in a most detailed way. Our major challenge is to settle humanitarian crisis. We are monitoring the situation. We have a plan from beginning to 3 months period and up to 6 months to know what we should do to lay the foundation for a sustainable development of our city. Thank you. Now, there's another platform, the place where we'll be studying, where we'll be gaining experience. This is the Warsaw platform. Mr. Zahara will brief us on what it's like and how it's supposed to be working. Dear city mayors, dear partners, indeed, we know what to do, we know how to develop, we know how to suggest urban design, but there's something we don't know. We don't know how to build the cities from the scratch. We are learning, we are studying in the city of Lviv, in the best practices of the European continent. This is something that we really need. We are aware of the fact that the best practice is in Europe, a developed Europe, due to the fact that we have such an opportunity to learn and study there, to listen to the experience of cities like Warsaw and Utrecht, and cities in the Netherlands, in France, and the United Kingdom. We are building our platform beyond Ukrainian borders in the city of Warsaw. People who so warmly have accepted us and settled us. Not only words of sympathy that matters here, but the main thing is that Warsaw helps us in a very active way. You understand that Warsaw saw the destruction of unprecedented scope during the Second World War. That's why it's very important for us to talk to them. As Mr. Orlov mentioned, the main thing is not to commit unasked for mistakes. This is what they told us at the city of Rotterdam, to avoid mistakes that must be avoided, not to make good on them later on. But these people are open to share their expertise with us, including as well as their successes, and they talk frankly about their mistakes. What we are seeing here in the city of Lviv is only a hypothesis. It will go to the city of Dnipro, they will test and develop those things. For example, the water supply in the city of Mariupol. Yes, we were receiving water at the distance of 220 kilometers, but the new project implies that perhaps there will be new strategies as they do in Rotterdam. And we want to see in person what the best practices are. We want to know what is the way to go forward. We will go back to Lviv to develop the strategy of rebirth of Mariupol. This is a very difficult and tough work. It begins today. It'll take at least, and unfortunately, 2 years. And to reiterate, we don't want to waste this time. I suggest we move forward. Thank you for your attention. You've got to know our team. Today, we have with us a lot of friends in an online format. Well, I suggest that we go and give the floor to Alexander Shaludunkov, who is the transformation manager at the economic resilience activity. Mr. Shaludunkov, the floor is yours.
Пане Олександре, ми вас не чуємо.
We can't hear you, sir.
Так, зараз. Одну хвилиночку. Так, а скажіть, будь ласка, щось.
Знову не чутно. Добре, давайте зробимо наступним чином, щоб не втрачати час, поки наші спеціалісти знову
Not to waste time while our technicians help us with that, I suggest that we give the floor to Natalia Yevchenko, who is the Director of Public Relations and Communications at SCM. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be brief. To begin with, it's an honor to be a partner from the Mariupol Reborn from the very beginning. Last September, we signed a document to the effect that we will be participating. Our role is very simple. We support the Lviv office and the platform. Now, of course, the added value of the Mariupol Reborn is that you have many stakeholders. I believe this is a broad uniting concept. It can bring good results. Extra importance is because you are helped by the USAID, EBRD. Our task and role here is more perhaps not visible, but very important to make sure that the office is effective. That's one thing. Second, I would like to give thanks to all the partners, to Mr. Sadovy, because it's good that Mariupol has such a great partner. It's important that you have disseminated centers in Lviv, in Warsaw, in Dnipro city. It will ensure that we are moving fast forward and we are ready to rebuild the city. And I'm saying we because at the SCM, as a major Ukrainian business, of course, on the 16th of February, 7 days before the invasion, Mr. Akhmetov and our team, we were at Mariupol presenting a plan worth $1 billion of development of the city. It was a big event because we were thinking about a complete modernization of our steel and iron works. And we were talking about green steel concept, environmentally friendly concept. Perhaps our plans have changed, but the direction of development is still the same. We will invest more into modernization of our iron and steel production. We will have to rethink where to invest. And it's very likely that green metallurgy will be a priority number one. And we'll be looking into that issue with the open minds. Now, my second message is that we not only support Mariupol Reborn office, we are committed to investing into the development of the city with all the opportunities opening to us, being aware of all the challenges that we are likely to face. And third point is that last week, I was talking to the Pope in Rome. We were granted the audience, we, meaning the women from Mariupol, daughters and wives of the prisoners of war. And they mentioned that no one deserves to be in slavery. That was my message. But I was also talking not about people, but about this city. I'm sure that not a single city deserves to be in captivity, in slavery. We will be working on the future of these liberated cities. Cities should be liberated in the same way as people must be liberated. It will open new opportunities. It's not due to the counteroffensive of the Ukrainian military, but it's because Mariupol has become the symbol of Ukrainian resilience. 62 days of beleaguered city. The city has become and will be a symbol of the Ukrainian cities reborn after the victory over their aggressor, and glory to Ukraine.
Дякуємо і повертаємося до нашого онлайн.
Thank you. We'll go back to the online format. Mr. Sheldonkov, can you hear us? We can't hear you, unfortunately. You might want to switch the channel. You might be listening to the English channel. Perhaps you should switch into the Ukrainian.
Спробуйте вибрати іншу мову, там де є можливість.
Can you select
Там ще є можливість обрати іншу.
other language? You've got their options, either English or Ukrainian.
Сподіваємося, що ми зараз почуємо, але поки що не
We hope that we'll be able to hear from you.
Ану, скажіть, будь ласка,
Can you tell us something?
пане Олександре, нам дуже прикро, але ми поки
It's so unfortunate, but we can't hear you.
все ж таки полагодимо систему.
We hope that we will put things right and you'll be able to join us.
А я поки тоді, щоб
Meanwhile,
знову ж таки час,
not to waste our time, I would like to give the floor to Glenn Wilson, who is the project director at architecture, design and planning firm Gensler. And by the way, this architecture firm is one of the biggest in the world. They have worked with things in Shanghai, in San Francisco, among many other developments.
вам слово.
Glenn Wilson, the floor is yours.
Good morning from London. My name is Glenn Wilson. I am from Gensler Architects, where I specialize in planning and designing cities. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to join the Revival Platform meeting this morning. Today, I join you on behalf of my colleagues at Gensler. We're greatly saddened by the destruction caused by the conflict in Ukraine, but we admire your strength and resilience, and we want you to know that we're very much with you on this journey to rebuild the Ukraine. Gensler, the world's largest architecture, design and planning firm, is recognized for our transformational approach to design. With 53 locations and more than 7,000 professionals networked across the globe, we are really excited to bring our reach, our scale, and our expertise to the strategy for the rebuilding of stronger, more resilient cities in the Ukraine. At Gensler, we have formed a strategic Ukrainian task force, which includes strategists, architects, urban designers, landscape architects, and consultants from London, New York, Chicago, and Washington. The mission of our task force is to harness the global design power of Gensler, gathering diverse ideas from within the firm while collaborating with Ukrainian experts. Our aim is to help the Ukraine build a better future and to ensure enrich the lives of the Ukrainian people. Currently, we have signed MOUs with both the mayor of Mariupol and the mayor of Irpin to commence initial strategic planning. In April, a spring forum will be hosted in Washington, D.C. Attending will be the mayors from Mariupol and Irpin and their teams. With Gensler, they will have the opportunity to raise awareness of their cities amongst high-level city and industrial leaders from across the United States of America, take part in initial strategy and planning discussions, and develop potential funding strategies for planning in collaboration with the World Bank, USAID, and the US State Department. Collaborating with the mayors and other stakeholders in the cities, we see a new beginning as we start to craft the strategy for the plan for the rebuilding of Mariupol and Irpin. Our goal at Gensler is to create an architecture of optimism and a vision for the future that will provide hope to the citizens of the Ukraine. Thank you. Slava Ukraine.
Дякуємо вам, пане Глен. Дуже
Thank you
дякую.
very much, sir.
Я хочу сказати єдине, що пане
The only message I have is to turn to Alexander Sheldenkov. Unfortunately, technically, we have not been able to listen to you, but we appreciate the help and assistance of the USAID. We hope for the further cooperation. Thank you, sir. At this point in time, we are wrapping up our event. In case there are questions from the floor, including our guests and the media, raise up your hands and put your questions. There seem to be no more questions. My suggestion is this: we take this photo opportunity for everyone who is here in the hall. Let us join together and have a photo taken as a symbol of this very important and symbolic event.